Julia Wright was packing for the trip. She was going to stay for a couple of weeks in the country house, which she bought after her son Carlos had died in a car accident, which came as a real shock to her. Carlos had always been her pride. He had served in the army and even received several state awards for military exploits. Julia's husband died of a heart attack 20 years ago, so the woman had no one left except her beloved cat. Now she found solace in growing flowers in her cottage. Taking the cat carrier, the old woman went out of town. However, once at the gate of her house, she was very surprised. Her neatly trimmed lawn was littered with a huge pile of rubbish, which mostly consisted of empty beer bottles and cigarette butts. Barely holding back tears, Mrs. Wright looked around and saw that many expensive cars were parked in front of the neighboring house. Apparently, there was a party. Since she wasn't sure that it was them who had made a mess in her garden, the woman went home. After a while, loud music and drunken cries began to be heard from the opposite house. Julia closed the windows and began cleaning. She did not notice how evening had come. Meanwhile, the neighborhood party was getting wilder. Realizing that this could no longer continue, the woman resolutely went to talk to them. After some time, a girl of about 25 opened the door to her. She was drunk. "What do you need?" she asked rudely. "Hi, I'm your neighbor. Could you please turn the music down?" Mrs. Wright asked politely. "This is my house, and I do whatever I want," the girl answered. Realizing that she would not achieve anything, Julia returned to her house. She managed to fall asleep only in the morning when the party stopped. The next day, the old woman suffered from high blood pressure and a severe migraine. "It's okay, I just need to hold out this day, and then at night I can sleep normally," Julia thought. However, as soon as it began to get dark, the music in the neighboring house started to play at full volume. Mrs. Wright couldn't take it anymore and called the police. She was waiting for a long time for the patrol to arrive. To her bad luck, the music in the house across the street had stopped 5 minutes before the police arrived, and her neighbors told the officers that they were not making noise and the old Mrs. Wright was telling lies. The girl also accused her of stalking. "Ma'am, if this happens again, I'll have to take you to the police station," the policeman said to Julia. It turned out that the old woman's neighbor, Sandy Peterson, was the daughter of a big businessman, so the police did not want to mess with her. The next day, the situation repeated and Mrs. Wright called the police again. However, Sandy turned off the music 5 minutes before the patrol arrived. "Ma'am, you need to come to the station tomorrow to clarify the situation," the policeman said to Julia. The old lady was very upset. In the eyes of others, she looked like an old and out-of-her-mind liar. The next day, when she entered the police station, she saw that all the officers were looking at her and laughing. Julia was very worried. Her hands were shaking, so she dropped her purse and its contents scattered on the floor. The head of the department helped her pick her things. But when he took the photograph of the woman's son that she was always carrying with her, he froze. "Ma'am, where did you get this photo?" he asked. "This is my son. He died a few years ago," Julia replied. The officer turned pale and told the old woman his story. It turned out that he served in the army with Carlos. They fought side by side and were true friends. However, after the service, their paths parted and they lost each other. Then he asked Mrs. Wright why she was at the police station. After listening to the woman's story, he decided to help her. He punished the impudent neighbor and also reprimanded the officers who laughed at Julia. As Mrs. Wright was walking home, she thanked her son for helping her even after his death.